Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well and I hope you all had a good weekend. So today we are working on a single dad apartment with triplet teenage girls. The drama, can you imagine? So this apartment is made in San Myshuno, of course, and it is in 20 Culpepper House. This is an apartment which I don't usually build in because it is quite big, but I quite like it because it is all still one story, because some of the bigger apartments are two-story and it just kind of gets a bit complicated when uploading it to the gallery, so I tend to stay away from those, but there we are. I did actually end up having to do the floor plan twice because it didn't record the first time, so I did change it up a little bit for the second time, but I really like how it turned out. So we do have 3 bedrooms, so we do have 2 of the triplets in one of the rooms and then the other one is in her own room, because 2 of them are very girly and the other one is more, you know, her own style. She's got her own thing going on. So that's what we're doing at the moment. I do end up changing the layout of this particular room around because I didn't like the way the kitchen was, so we do end up having it against this wall instead on the opposite side, which I think looks nicer. So this is the kitchen, dining, living area. I really like how it turned out. I think the colour combinations work really nicely in this room. I wanted to have one big open space so they could all kind of like accumulate together and be more like, you know, happy families. I kind of felt like perhaps there was a lot of drama in this household. Maybe 2 of the triplets were like best buddies and the other one was a bit on the outskirts. She was like not as much like her sisters, and maybe the dad like favours the one that's a bit different just because she's usually left out of the pack. That was kind of what I was thinking. I kind of felt like the dad was a businessman. Maybe he's at work a lot, that's how they can afford this nice apartment. You know, I kind of felt like they weren't like, what's the word? They weren't low on money, but they weren't rich either. They were kind of like, you know, stable enough. I really like doing this layout at the moment with the island in the centre. I don't usually do it, so it's kind of a new discovery of mine, using the corner counters. I don't know how to explain what I mean, but hopefully you know what I'm on about. So we did go ahead and add in quite a lot of clutter as well from Home Chef Hustle, and what else did I include? There's another pack which I can't think of right now, but I did include quite a bit of clutter. I did try and fit in some like pizza oven stuff and a waffle maker, but I could only fit in 1 item and I didn't want to make it look like too overcrowded, but I did want to make sure they had a lot of items in here because I wanted to make sure it felt very homely. But anyway, so now we're just moving on to the well, we're still adding some decorative pieces, and actually I decided to add some plants from For Rent. I wanted to make it feel as like full and cozy as possible. I did add curtains, but it just wasn't really working for me, so I did delete them. So we did have some open window space as well because I quite liked having the sun shining in as well. It kind of felt a bit more like realistic. So we did add some white curtains that let the light in, and then we moved on to the sofas. I was a bit unsure what type of sofas I wanted because I tend to use the Parenthood ones repeatedly, and then I was like, you know what, we'll do something a little bit different. So we used these sofas from Growing Together. I do end up covering the cushions to like a pinky white colour from one of the kits. I can't remember specifically, Modern Luxe kit I think, because I wasn't really fond of the brown. I did not like the colour, but the pattern was just a bit much for this room, I felt, so it did make it a bit more pastel. So we're just adding in some decorative pieces to the wall. I'm adding in a mirror and a rug just to make it feel a bit more homely. I never really know what colour scheme to go with when I do the rugs. It's kind of a bit like, you know, hit or miss. How do you make it fit the entire room and kind of blend in nicely together? But I was happy with my decision in the end. I kind of felt like too much pattern was a bit too much, so I did decide to layer the rugs, which I really liked. I think it turned out nicely, and it's something that I don't normally do, so it's quite nice to have a bit of contrast sometimes. I did go ahead and add this literal piece of rock as the coffee table. I'd never used it before, I don't think. It's a little bit different, it's a bit out there, but I think it looks cute. I don't think cute's the correct word, but you know, it looks quite fashionable then, maybe, I don't know. I hope you know what I mean. So I did decide to include a gaming PC in the main living area. I kind of felt like perhaps one of the daughters was into streaming and she is only allowed to do it in like the main living area, so she's not like, I don't know, I kind of thought they were like around 14, 15, they weren't like late teens necessarily just yet, so the dad still likes to monitor what they do and who they're talking to, so I kind of felt like maybe they had their main computer in the main living space, maybe they're not too fond of that. but I really like it. I think every single build that I include these boxes in as well is just, I don't know, it just makes it feel more realistic. It's way more cluttered and way more like personality in my opinion. I do tend to fill them with toddler items or like infant stuff, more so toys, so it was quite difficult to find items I could put in there that weren't kid related because there was no children living here, just teens. But I think it turned out nicely, and it definitely makes it like fill up the room a lot nicer in my opinion anyway. I did go ahead and add some backpacks as well to make it feel a bit more realistic and a bit more cluttered, because I kind of felt like they would just throw their bags down at the end of the day and just go and chill out all together. You know, I kind of felt like they probably had their differences, but they are all happy families at the end of the day. So now we're just moving on to the first bedroom. This is two of the triplets room. Like I said, two of them are very girly, so it's very pink. I really like how it turned out. I think the colour scheme's really nice. I don't usually use these swatches of these beds, so it was quite nice to do something a little bit different. I did go for kind of like very pastel blues, purples, pinks in this room, and then the other sister is a little bit different. Not like drastically different, she's not like gothic, but I just kind of felt like her style does not blend in with this room, so she does have her own space. Plus we could not fit in 3 double beds, so you know, just logical, it kind of fit to do it that way around. But I think potentially these two are a bit jealous of their sister, even though, you know, they shouldn't be. But I think they are a little bit, because she gets her own space, and maybe the dad favours her slightly just because she's a bit more different than the other two, because sometimes she's a bit left out, but then maybe they also feel left out. I don't know, I just kind of felt like there was a bit of drama. But I really love how this room turned out. I think it's really nice. I think the colour schemes kind of all match together. I think there's not too much going on, because sometimes too much clutter can be a bit overpowering in my opinion, so I think it was nice just to have like your fair share of clutter without overdoing it, you know. So I did decide to give them iPads and laptops to kind of like, I don't know, maybe they're all kind of into the internet world type of stuff. Maybe they're all streamers, maybe some of them are. I kind of imagine that one was into music, maybe this the sister, which has the like pastel coloured bed that we're on at the moment, that sister and the other one in the other room potentially were into music, and the other one was a little bit different and she was more into like makeup and fashion and a bit more, you know, that sort of stuff. So yes, I really love how this room turned out. I think it looks really pretty. I think there's a lot going on and I just really like it. Ultimately, I just really like how it turned out. I did decide to add a yellow teddy, which I was a bit like, doesn't really go. Nothing else in this room is yellow, but you know, we could add a bit of different sometimes. So anyway, so now moving on to the bathroom, and I did discover that the shower was from Snowy Escape. I couldn't remember the other day, so the shower is from Snowy Escape, and I really like it. I think this bathroom, it looks really nice. It's obviously for the teenage girls, so I did put in some hair dryers and some clutter on the countertops because I wanted it to feel very like, you know, realistic. So we do have some soap, we've got some moisturiser, we've got a towel, we've got hair dryers, and I did put another hair dryer in the other bathroom that we've got. I kind of felt like maybe the other sister uses that one and she leaves the girly girls to their own devices in this room. But I really like making these custom showers, guys. I think they're just, I don't know, I just really like them. But anyway, so now we're moving on to the other triplets room, and this is the one that's a little bit different. I really love the colour scheme. I think if I was going to live here, I'd live in this room. I think the swatch on the bed is really pretty, and it's just very like different, but in a really nice way. It's not like gothic, it's not like, not necessarily tomboyish either, it's just very unique. So I really like how it turned out. I didn't add much clutter in this room, not like the other room. I kind of felt like she was a bit more minimalist and kind of like, you know, kept her stuff way more tidy than the other two. And maybe that's why she wants her own space, just to keep it like neat and clean and just, you know. I did end up adding a bit more clutter off camera because I kind of felt like there wasn't enough, but I didn't add too much overall, but I think it really just turned out nicely in the end. I did end up putting a plant in here as well, which I don't usually do in the kids' rooms or the teens' rooms because I've usually got too much stuff in there to fill everything. There's usually not enough room to put plants in, but I kind of felt like it needed something green, so I really like how it turned out. And I did put this full-length mirror behind the cupboard as well. I don't know, it just kind of worked for this room, and I'm obsessed with this like star and moon thing. The light I just think is really pretty. And then we moved on to the next bathroom. Like I said, this is more for the dad and the other daughter. I did end up putting a hairdryer in here for the other triplet. And yeah, I just think it's really nice. like I always say, my bathrooms kind of look the same, but I think it was quite nice and spacious. There's enough room to do their makeup and do their hair and shower and, you know, whatever else they need to do in here. And I apologise for that loud bike outside. My goodness, there's always some sort of noise. But anyway, so my bathrooms tend to look similar, but they all look clean and classy, so it's all that matters. And then we moved on to the last room, which is the father's bedroom. I really like using these 4-poster beds at the moment. I think they look really nice. I think they're from the Industrial Loft kit. And then I did trial some stuff from For Rent, but it wasn't really working for me, so I did end up deleting it and adding something from Parenthood. I think it's from all cats and dogs actually. And I did use Horse Ranch, so we've got Horse Ranch and cats and dogs for the cupboards. And then of course we used the basic white curtains again because I just think they work everywhere. It's very simple and just looks really nice. But anyway, I am going to end the voiceover by here for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll be back tomorrow with another speed build and a Let's Play episode, which I've worked on all weekend, so I hope you're looking forward to that. So be sure to come and join my live tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, so don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Bye guys.